Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here. Well, globalist Bill and Melinda Gates have just announced that they are getting a divorce. No joke. In fact, the deeper question that we should be asking is why are they really divorcing? And probably even bigger news than that is what their foundation has been accused of. But before I get into the report, just a quick break. Are you on an investment treadmill? You know, saving and saving and saving more money for retirement? Well, guess what? Whatever you are saving, it won't be worth much when you retire. Cash is trash, and you have to make your money work for you. You might even have all the money that you'll ever need, but maybe you're not using it right. You're probably relying on stocks and mutual funds when you really need to diversify your profile. Opening a gold IRA, for instance, gives you that instant cash injection and gets your returns soaring. That's why I highly recommend Noble Gold Investments at noblegoldinvestments.com. This is who I personally use for my retirement. With gold likely to go up $2,500 an ounce this year, it's the perfect time. That's a major boost, wouldn't you say? If you feel like this could be the answer for you, then do what I did and contact Noble Gold Investments today at noblegoldinvestments.com. Or you can even pick up the phone and call them at 1-877-646-5347. And please let them know that you heard it on Lisa Haven's channel, because right now, if you sign up for any approved 401k or Roth IRA backed by that gold, silver, or precious metals, then they are giving away this amazing item. Now, this is a 22 karat solid gold, and you can see it up close there in the camera, 1/10 ounce American Eagle bullion coin. This thing is absolutely amazing. And all you have to do is get your profile diversified and make sure it's backed by something other than the dollar, something that I have been encouraging you guys to do for quite a while. So make sure you diversify your profile today and go to noblegoldinvestments.com. Also, much more information can be found by clicking the link in the description box below. All right, back to the broadcast. So let's start first with this article on abcnews.com, and it's titled, Bill and Melinda Gates Divorce After 27 Years of Marriage. Bill and Melinda announced Monday that they are divorcing after 3 decades of marriage, but don't worry, they're going to keep working together on their private charitable foundation. Now, the article goes on to quote what they've each said, and it says this: after a great deal of thought and a lot of work on our relationship, we have made the decision to end our marriage, they said in an identical statement posted to their Twitter accounts. Over the last 27 years, we've raised 3 incredible children, built a foundation that works all over the world to enable all people to lead healthy, productive lives. We continue to share a belief in that mission and will continue to work together at our foundation. But we will no longer believe we can work together as a couple in this next phase of our lives. We ask for space and privacy for our family as we begin to navigate this new life. So the couple wants privacy after sticking their nose in pretty much every policy in action here in the United States of America, but I digress. The globalist couple have announced after 27 years they are divorcing. But the real question we have to ask ourselves is why? Did Melinda finally have enough of his savior complex? I mean, after all, the guy has been going around, Bill Gates, acting as if he's the savior of the world, but that's probably because the mainstream media actually gave him that title. No joke. As a reminder, take a look at this article here, and this is on wire.co.uk. Bill Gates has a plan to save the world, people, but will the world listen to the quote-unquote savior, right? Obviously not my savior, but in the face of one of humanity's greatest challenges, little s savior Bill Gates lays out his plan for attaining net zero carbon emissions. In other words, he's going to save the world by lowering carbon, lowering the amount of people in the world, because he has been very open about being a depopulation agent over the years. But maybe that's what Melinda finally had enough of. Maybe she was tired of these kind of statements.
We can see a chart that looks at the total world population over the last several hundred years. And at first glance, this is a bit scary. We go from less than a billion in 1800, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.4 billion where we are today is happening even faster. So Melinda and I wondered whether providing new medicines and keeping children alive, would that create more of a population problem? Is spending $1 million on that last 3 months of life for that patient, would it be better not to lay off those 10 teachers and to make that trade-off in medical costs? But that's called the death panel, and you're not supposed to have that discussion. I see a lot of things that are going very well, things like reducing childhood death and...
Overpopulation, death panels that we're not supposed to talk about. And of course, his last little statement there, and I quote, producing childhood death. Huh? Like it's one of those, like, did he really just say that? But maybe Melinda is finally waking up to the fact that her husband was a psycho man. I mean, she's been by his side the whole time. I'm not saying that that's necessarily the case. I'm just saying maybe she actually woke up. Maybe it's that he's done some weird and strange things over the past.
What were the non-Microsoft browsers that you were concerned about in January of 1996?
That month.
Yes, sir.
And what about it?
What non-Microsoft browsers were you concerned about in January of 1996?
I don't know what you mean concerned.
What is it about the word concerned that you don't understand?
I'm not sure what you mean by it.
I'm not sure what you mean by the word concerned. Really? Now that video footage is years old and it has recently resurfaced, but you can see the strange behaviors of Bill Gates back then. And keep in mind, he was massively hated a long time ago, I think even more so than today, because since then, he started paying off mainstream media to get good publicity of himself, right? So what happens? He suddenly, as you saw in the beginning of this report, right, becomes the world's savior. This kind of behavior is coming from supposedly one of the smartest, richest men of the world, and you see him there just kind of acting strange. Maybe she woke up to that craziness. I don't know. Or maybe it has nothing to do with any of that at all. Maybe, right? It has to do with his foundation, because even some bigger news has surfaced over the years, and that's the fact that his foundation has some pretty harsh accusations planted against it.
Il tutto per assecondare gli appetiti di un capitalismo finanziario il cui motore è il conflitto di interessi, ben rappresentato dall'OMS, il cui primo finanziatore è il noto filantropo e salvatore del mondo, Bill Gates. Lo sappiamo tutti ormai. Bill Gates già nel 2018 profetizzava una pandemia, poi simulata lo scorso ottobre nell'Event 201, in accordo con gli amici di Davos. Ed ormai da decenni si prodiga nello sviluppo di piani di depopolamento e controllo dittatoriale sulla politica globale, puntando ad ottenere il primato su agricoltura, tecnologia e energia, e dice testuali parole riprese da una sua dichiarazione: se facciamo un buon lavoro con i nuovi vaccini, la sanità e la salute riproduttiva, possiamo diminuire la popolazione mondiale del 10-15%. E continua, aperte virgolette, solo un genocidio può salvare il mondo.
But let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Caro Presidente Conte, la prossima volta che riceve una telefonata dal filantropo Bill Gates, la inoltri direttamente alla Corte Penale Internazionale per i crimini contro l'umanità. Diversamente ci dica come dovremmo definire l'amico avvocato che prende ordini da un criminale. Grazie.
Send him to the International Court for crimes against humanity. I love it. All I know is that Bill Gates has been a massive depopulation agent for many, many years, speaking about how we're overpopulated. We need to handle the overpopulation problem. And he's been a big advocate for that, along with Klaus Schwab, Kissinger, and Soros, and the whole globalist enchilada, if you will. I don't know. Is there more to the story going on with their divorce? Does it have anything to do with accusations on his foundation? Does it have to do with the fact that maybe they're just finished with each other, or maybe he's got a nice little hot sidekick that he's managed to pay off? Who knows? Either way, you get to decide. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.